Klaus, thanks for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Klaus, there's been a number of restrictions on pesticides in the EU lately. Can you explain a little bit about what's going on with that?
Well, I mean, it all turns up when we have had this famous accident in 2008, which was really an accident which turned out from different problems. So nevertheless, the result has been that we have had a lot of restrictions in using neonics, particularly in seed treatment, which is the concern for the seed industry. And we are now facing two regulations which have been put in place for neonicotinoids and fipronil, which are now limiting the use to only a few species and only to certain sowing times, which is a big headache for us.
It is amazing to me how specific of target this has been on a wide scope to specifically focus in on seed treatments. Do you have any ideas to why the specific target?
The specific target turned up from this accident where we have had a lot of dust off, so dust which have been free and has been distributed then by the drilling machines, and depending on the drilling equipment you have these vacuum, these pneumatic drilling machines, and they have an exhaust which was pushing the overpressure right into the air. Now, one of the things has been that in the meantime we got another product free again, another insecticide, but with the adaptation, the obligation to adapt the sowing devices by airflow deviation. Now it's put straight into the ground or very close onto the ground with low pressure, and by that the dust which was included is now put straight into the ground, covered again by the sowing device. And the major point of all of these things was that in the off-crop there was too much active ingredient found, which was killing bees. And bees are very sensible, not only in Europe, I think, everywhere else.
I think that's true. So this information is quite obviously not in decision makers' hands yet. So how do we get this information into decision makers' hands?
They know it, but the problem is that a lot of our studies which have been made by the industry, which have been made by the authorities, were not really seen from EFSA, which is the European Food Safety Association. They have only looked at very limited studies where they feel they are valuable because they have had a peer review and everything, and all the other activities which we have been doing within the last 5 years, which means improving treatment recipes, using stickers, getting the processes much finer tuned, and all these things, including the activities of the sowing device industry, they have not been considered in a way we would have expected.
Any thoughts on how the European Seed Association can take that to the next level?
We have done one very important step, which is the creation and the implementation of ESTA. ESTA is European Seed Treat Assurance Scheme. This is a scheme which has been developed within ESTA and several countries. Main drivers have been France, Germany and the UK for that. And this is now implemented. We could hear yesterday that there are already 30 or 40 sites which are certified for this issue. And the certification does not mean only that the hardware, the treating facility is checked. It is everything. It's the entire process, the quality management, it is the weighing, the control of airstream, everything.
So industry is buying into the concept?
Industry is buying into the concept. We would like to see more speed on it, but this is something where you have each time to re-explain again why and what for. But the major point for us is that we must not now, even with the ban of neonics and fipronil, we must not slow down in our efforts, because today it's this product, tomorrow it's that product. We are facing in the moment a situation, particularly here in Europe, where people are very suspicious in respect to seed treatment, to plant protection anyhow, and we know that without plant protection, agriculture is no more longer competitive.
In the U.S., there is initiatives in place to get more knowledge out into the world about seed treatments as well, both at the grower level and at the society at large. And I assume you're familiar with these initiatives. Are they working in parallel with ESTA, or is it kind of going in a different direction?
It's a little bit going into a different direction. In the US, it's more product driven. People are focusing on the product and how to handle. In Europe, we are more process orientated, which means we want to implement a proper process to use the different products. Maybe it's a different approach. In the end, the result should be the same. But what we want to avoid is that we have for each product a different approach. In general, the processes need to be the same. You have to test the treating recipe on the site itself. You have to make your Heubach test. You have to check if everything is okay, if you undercut the reference values and so on, to be sure that you are doing the right things.
And with process in mind, then it doesn't matter what the product is, as long as you've got the right process in place.
Here we go.
Right. Interesting. Do you see ESA playing an ever-growing role in that outreach concept?
I think yes, because ESA in the end is the organization for the European seed industry. And we have on the other side the colleagues from the European plant protection industry, which is ECPA.
Mm-hmm.
So we need here to have similar organizations working together on eyesight, exchanging positions, and in the end we have jointly to find solutions. This is not the job of the plant protection industry giving a solution to the seed industry, because the major point between these two industries is we don't know a lot, or we don't know anything about the seed treatment products, and they don't know anything about our genetics, and we have somehow to combine these things. And then you have interactions if you use insecticide, fungicide, stickers, colorants, and so on. So all these packages have to be handled in a proper way. And there is industry know-how, there is company know-how, and of course you have always to see how to handle this in a right sense to keep even the point intellectual property right.
That's great. Klaus, thanks for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it.
Great, pleasure. Thank you.